Yo guys, what's going on? Ace is here today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a video for some of the newer players to escape from Tarkov, some of the beginners. So if you are a veteran player, there's no need to stick around unless you want to. Maybe I'll drop a tidbit that you might not have known or something in the video here today if you did want to stick through it. But just letting you know right out of the gate that this is primarily going to be a beginner-focused video for some of the players who haven't experienced a wipe yet. In today's video, we're talking about what is a pre-wipe. What is a pre-wipe event? Now, in the past, I've been through, I think this is going to be my fourth or fifth wipe now. I'm not sure exactly how many I've had. I've been playing for almost 2 years, and typically in the past, we have seen a pretty standard telltale sign for when pre-wipe is happening. However, with the event that is happening the last 2, 3, 4 days now, it's a little bit different. So we don't exactly know if it's actually a pre-wipe or not. So, you know, I'm probably sure you guys are hearing a lot of pre-wipe talk. So I figured there's going to be a lot of players who might not even know what a pre-wipe is, and I just want to let you guys know. So pre-wipe is the days leading up to a wipe, and there will be an event in game. This time around, if the game does wipe this week, presumably on Thursday, the event has been free labs. You can go into labs for free. On reserve, every single scab boss from every single map has been on the map, and on factory, you will find Killa. So that is what we've currently had event-wise. Now, we had back-to-back-to-back different things each day, and that's why we're kind of thinking it's a pre-wipe. Now, if it was just Killa on factory for a week and that was it, then you could give the argument that they're testing the AI mechanics for Tagilla. The new scab boss is going to be on factory once it has the expansion. So, you know, that could have been made as a good argument. However, with back-to-back-to-back different things happening, I think it's a really good chance this could be our pre-wipe event this time. But in the past, the pre-wipe events have always been the same. And what has happened is every single map you see on screen, now, if it does go back to being normalized and the same in the future, then this will apply to, in the future, streets, suburbs, town, lighthouse, terminal, etc. So right now, as it used to be, for pre-wipe events, you would see interchange, customs, woods, factory, reserve, and shoreline. Every single scav on the map would be a raider. And if you guys don't know what raiders are, those are the scav, or they're actually ex-PMC operatives that are just AIs, but that is the lore behind them. They can be USEC and they can be bear, and you will hear primarily, usually you'll hear a lot more of the USEC and English-speaking raiders, but typically you will find them on reserve and you will find them on lab. On the lab, that is all that spawns. There will not be any regular scavs. It'll just all be raiders, but on reserve, you will have a couple different spawn points for raiders. There's a lot more on reserve. And every other map, you will not see any raiders whatsoever. Now, obviously, you have your scab bosses who might have minions, and those could be classified as raiders, but it's a little bit different. You know, it's kind of the same loot pools, but it's not exactly the same. So when we are talking about pre-wipe, every single map, every single scav will be a raider. They're very aggressive. They have good armor, good weapon, good ammo, everything, man. They will be stacked out of their mind. So every single raid is just extremely fun. And this leads to a market crash and a market increase in desirable items. So we are seeing that part of the pre-wipe happening based on the community aspect of it. So the community is reacting as this is a pre-wipe. Alright, so we're back. Had to restart Tarkov. So certain desirable items such as M995, really high pen ammunitions are going to start skyrocketing in price. So when I did a market analysis just a couple days ago, M995 was at about 2,500. Now it's creeping up to 3,500. I've already heard reports that it has hit 4,000. As you can see, there's kind of a cutoff point right here where you get into that 4,000 range. This is one example. Slicks are another great example. We talked about them, I think, as well in yesterday's video when we were kind of going over the slick prices and stuff. You can see these used to be around 600K. Now they're creeping up over 1.1 mil. So certain items in the flea market will start to skyrocket in price, while other items that are less desirable will decline rapidly in price. So with that being said, that is another way to tell. But one way to tell that a pre-wipe is actually happening, 100% happening no matter what, is trader pricing. Trader pricing will be dirt cheap, and selling to traders will be dirt cheap, and we haven't seen that yet. So if this was a traditional true pre-wipe event, these prices would be dirt cheap right now, and they're not. So for example, morphine is 28,000 rubles. For example, in a pre-wipe, morphine might only be 10,000 rubles. It would be extremely cheap. It would not be almost 30k. Propital, 26,000. It's sold out right now, but you know, we could see Propitals at maybe even 10,000, you know, something like that. An extreme price drop around the board on every single item in the game. It is dirt cheap. It is super fun. A great example is going to Peacekeeper, and then around, like, let's see, where's my M62s? So M61s, or M62s, I'm sorry, instead of being 6 USD per round, they might be 1 USD per round. Sometimes they make the limits higher, or they increase the inventory that the traders have. There's so many different things that are happening in the dealers or the traders, however you like to call them, that will happen during a true pre-wipe event. But in this case, with these scav bosses being on every map, we don't have that either. So there is a couple, you know, people on the fence right now. Is this going to be an actual wipe soon? We don't know. So what is pre-wipe? It's basically just an event that happens a couple days before the game actually wipes, and that is when you lose everything. So keep that in mind. If you've never had a wipe before, here's my inventory. I have 7 thick cases, all this stuff in here, all of this, all of this, all of this, this, everything in my inventory, everything you see. If you've never had a wipe, all of my skills, my max endurance, and all these other skills, once the game wipes, you lose it all. Everything is gone. Your record is wiped clean. The only thing on your character record that will stay is your time played. That is it. So if you're new to the game, you know, whether it's a couple months in, you know, maybe you're 3, 4, 5 months in. That's great. Use all that experience you learned within the last 5 months. Take it in the next wipe. You're going to love it. It's so much more fun than your first playthrough because you know a little bit, but you don't know everything. I think the first wipe is actually the most fun I've had in Tarkov. The beginning was amazing. It was a great experience, but having just enough knowledge to get by on my first wipe was definitely the most fun. That is what a pre-wipe is. If you guys have any more questions, just drop them in the comments below. I can answer them for you, but I figured there's definitely a bunch of players that have no idea what is happening right now. And I was going to make a video titled "What is Going On?" but I figured let's just focus on one thing. What is pre-wipe? That is what it is. It's an event that happens right before wipe. Typically, we see raiders on every single map, and the prices drop significantly in traders, I should say. So that's going to be it for today. Any other questions, drop them in the comments. Hopefully, I did a good enough job explaining. If I did a bad job, I'm sorry. Leave that like, subscribe for new sponsors, equipment, description below, membership option down there if you want to check it out. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I'm out.